takes back about 6 years from now. Hey, I'm Deathtrap, and I'm here with Kyle Clark, and this is Rivalries. It's where we talk about rivalries that happened over the years that probably shocked the world and changed the wrestling world forever. And this one was iconic. Now Kyle, do you remember back in 2015-2014 when Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins had a fallout rivalry with Over the Months?
It was a Money in the Bank ladder. It was a Money in the Bank, and then, you know, with Roman and Seth, and then Seth won, and then Dean cashed in on him, so he gained no shit.
Well, in this stream, guys, who's ever watching at the end of the stream, this whole stream is going to be talking about the rivalry in the past history of Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, when they first were blood brothers, not blood brothers, but Hounds of Justice back in 2014, from 2012 to 2014.
Maybe even longer than 2012, if they're on to NXT like since the inception, but I highly doubt.
You also remember FCW.
FCW, Florida Championship Wrestling, the developmental at the time, like 2000, between 2007 and 2010.
Seth Rollins, a breakout star who just started his whole run right after abandoning the Shield and betraying them to sell out for the Authority.
And he's kind of a spoiled brat a little bit when he rubbed people in the Authority the wrong way.
Well, we take you back to the history of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. We'll put a little match and show for you guys where we do that. These two, well, they had some fair share, and well, Seth Rollins probably got the best of them more. Dean Ambrose was the one man who cost Seth Rollins, well, the championship back in 2016. You remember the time when it was Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins back in 2016, and when Dean cashed in on Seth, all three members of the Shield were champions then.
That's what I was actually talking about.
The exact night when Dean, do you ever watch, did you watch that match?
I've seen, like, the highlights of that, yeah. When he did that pedigree, like spear into a pedigree, and then he won, and then Dean Ambrose came out and was like, okay, you know. They had a triple threat and backlash, battleground.
And Dean Ambrose won that one after doing some shenanigans. But either way, I gotta admit, this is one of the rivalries I remember growing up watching. This is when I started liking Dean Ambrose and acted like Dean Ambrose, I guess, but I hated Seth Rollins with his damn skunk hair. Yeah, with the yeah, we called it skunk hair, skunk Seth, when he had that mixture between the blonde and the black.
I could imagine people chanting for him, skunks.
Skunk boy. Skunk boy. I definitely would say that rivalry probably elevated these two onto a whole different level. You would have to agree, right? This rivalry definitely elevated their careers on a whole different level. I
do remember that. And I do remember the rivalry. Apparently they short-lived in 2018. There's some movement. The controversial one.
Now we can't do a whole match of every match they had, but we are gonna show you guys the match where they definitely they first started the rivalry back in 2015 on a Monday Night Raw when they had their best match of the rivalry, I guess. According to some ranks, I guess.
Some ranks.
This is when the year when Batista won the Rumble and, well, faced off against Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship with Randy Orton involved in the mix.
I was actually after that. When Batista, shortly after Batista.
Now with both of their Shield brethren, or former Shield brethren, in the mix of the, also the Authority, well actually he was facing off against Randy Orton at the time. Oh no, it was Bray Wyatt, wasn't it? But what do you remember most from this rivalry?
Well, from the rivalry, I guess, like when I gather, I can remember the time that where Dean Ambrose put fucking like popcorn in his Money in the Bank briefcase.
Was it green slime? I remember the time when Dean Ambrose even said, "Oh, what? It's for charity." When he splashed water over his head.
Oh, yeah, I fucking down.
This is when Dean Ambrose was actually being loved by the fans, and while they were around at the time to enjoy his work of comedy as the Lunatic Fringe before the whole 2019-2018 Dean Ambrose came to a crash.
Apparently the pre-COVID Dean Ambrose.
When he had to take a shot on his butt on live television. But the thing about this, the reason why this rivalry came to be is, well, because of Seth Rollins. When they were all part of the Shield, Rollins, Ambrose, and Reigns were in a rivalry with Evolution. And, well, Seth Rollins betrayed the Shield and joined Evolution. Some would say he sold out. And while Dean Ambrose loved him like a brother, he felt betrayed, and you know what? He said, "You know what, fuck this. I'm going to make you pay for what you did to me and my brother." With that being said, this was not a afterthought rivalry. This was not a, oh, this just happened, okay. No, this was one of those rivalries where you're like, I wonder who's gonna get the first spin first. Who's gonna win this entire war here between these two?
Well, I do remember when the Shield reunited in 2017. PRC. It was Seth being hurt.
In some cases, Triple H.
What?
Remember that live event when Roman Reigns was able to make it? They had Triple H join in.
Yeah, that was a live event where Triple H buried Jinder Mahal. I mean, you know, that's not what happened.
And that same chair you see Dean Ambrose have right now in his hand, the same damn chair, well, not the exact same chair, has the same chair that betrayed the Shield in the first place.
Not the same exact one, but...
What if it was? That would be crazy. But Dean Ambrose, well, his career wasn't, of course, like I said, not an afterthought. It was memorable, but it also was horrible at some cases.
Memorable, but not memorable.
Now Seth Rollins, well, he moved on to bigger things.
Bigger and better things.
Indeed. When Seth Rollins was, well, after he joined the Authority, he ended up having an injury that caused him to be gone for almost a whole damn year. Came back, attacked Roman Reigns after he came back, had a little rivalry with Roman for a bit. Then he faced up against Kevin Owens for a few. and then soon of all, he came after the King of Kings.
And then he became Grand Slam Rollins down the line. And then, now Dean Ambrose side pedigree. He won the Intercontinental Championship from The Miz.
Indeed. But the one thing that I would take from this rivalry is that no matter what happens in the end, don't be sad. Don't be sad it's over. Be happy it happened, I guess. I don't know who said that, but that was what I heard before. I heard that line once. Well, what we could also say is these two have been in WWE games since 2K14, I believe, right?
They so Seth Rollins the
tutorial. The tutorial.
You see, Ambrose in the remember when Aaron with Jason Jordan win the tag team titles.
Now later on this stream you will see matches like, well, let's use for example the Money in the Bank match you mentioned earlier in the stream. And SummerSlam. Which will make it as a trilogy, I guess. Now,
all this.
Wait, what did you say?
So all this actually culminated with the Survivor Series. I remember the Survivor Series 2015. The Authority was no more. But that was a total cop out. It's because it was like the Authority's back, bitch. Which is stupid.
Indeed so. But the thing I will also take away from this is, well, no matter how many times they fought each other out, well, they became friends later on down there in 2018. No, it was 2017, my bad. 2017 is when Seth Rollins finally got into Dean Ambrose's head saying, we need to team up together and take down the Bar.
And they became Raw Tag Team Champions.
But of course I shouldn't really mention too much of their tag team history within after that. It's all about the rivalry, of course. But this was also the time when they introduced J&J Security, am I correct?
Yes. Joey Mercury and James Noble.
And boy oh boy was that a time.
It's like, you're fired.
Extra slow getting back to
No,
space here.
no, what are you doing? You're fired.
You can't fire me, you're fired.
That will take the wind right out of you.
No, Joey Mercury.
He did it. What a huge win.
Look at Joey Mercury. You can call it the job J&J Security. I mean, J&J.
The jobbers, that's what they're meant to be.
Let's go to the highlights here.
Not completely. Joey Mercury. It's just unlucky. He's just unlucky to receive a chair, to receive a ladder in the damn nose.
that made his face like gush out so much blood.
Cut the camera, cut the camera.
But that was the end of that match. Next one we have is Money in the Bank. One of their memorable matches they've had with Seth Rollins. Well, I believe he was the lucky one, right?
The Money in the Bank was in 2015. Ambrose cashed in on Seth after the match.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. All right, I'll take us to a different one. Do you remember Hell in a Cell when Bray Wyatt got involved?
Hell in a Cell.
2014? Yeah, it was 2014. Seth Rollins and Ambrose had a rivalry back in so long of 2014 that they had a Hell in a Cell match. I guess it wasn't that memorable if you don't remember it. But this is when Ambrose brought so many damn weapons in. And, this is when Dean Ambrose and Seth climbed the cage, and J&J Security tried to get on top of the cage, too, to get involved.
I don't know why it kind of reminds me of, the Dirty Dogs just trying to get involved, and they both freaking, and the Shield Brothers, they went through the damn tables. Both went through the two announce tables.
But these two, they went on, I don't know how long they've had this rivalry for like maybe a year or two, and then they paused it for a few years. Now, I'm not saying that all these winners are exactly accurate in these matches, but it is going to be a trilogy, you'll see. But in this match, Seth Rollins got the victory.
It's not going to be like 5, it's like going to be like 10 matches in this show.
Basically, we're just going to go out to the rivalries of the trilogy matches. Now, if you got told what year that you would go back to watch wrestling all over again, I would say 2015, 2016.
Even though I didn't really know wrestling until 2016.
So, would you go back in 2015 to experience all of the hype it used to be? Or 2014, actually?
If you're just tuning in, you're watching what is guaranteed a Hell in a Cell match for the ages. Yeah, that's saying something given the Hell in a Cell matches we've seen over the years.
2014.
Yeah, the year when NXT actually involved. Evolved into something even bigger than what it was already. And look how big Hell in a Cell matches were back in the older games.
The Hell in a Cell matches. So Vince is like Triple H is like isn't gonna be highly to the matches.
I completely agree. The way things are going in there, I'd say not much longer. My gosh, this is a beating. And down he goes.
But like you remember back, I think in like 2K19, 2K20, when like Hell in a Cell matches used to be so like small and spacious, like less spacious. They wouldn't like allow you to bring weapons into the damn ring.
This is good strategy. Watch the score big.
Well, like no.
He wasted too much time on that one.
Like I don't think they were allowed to have. I mean, it's a no disqualification match, is it not? The Hell in a Cell match? Oh wait. Damn it, no. I kind of remind me flashback in 2019. I'm not even going to mention that. Just to get my
Everyone's biggest eye watch it. You have to bleach your eyes and see that match.
Eye gouger, just get a.
If we want to talk about bleaching people's eyeballs, let's talk about the Goldberg and the Fiend match. I'm kidding. But
You know,
see, I remember when Ambrose had the briefcase in the ring, and he had Seth Rollins' mannequin, or have a mannequin with Seth Rollins' hair and stuff. He's like, "You really? You want to make me do this to you? You want to make me do this to you?" Keep smacking him with his own damn hand.
wait, smacking the mannequin?
Yeah. He's like, "You gonna keep doing this to me? You gonna keep doing this?"
It's like when Sting put his mannequin, his statue, into the garbage can, the garbage can. Oh, it pushes it in.
Oh! Don't you do it, Sting! Don't you do it! No! Cut my music! But this was also, this is also around a time when John Cena had a Survivor Series match, I believe. I think it was 2014, 2015, with Rowan and Harper.
That was Team Authority versus Team Cena.
Was that 2014? 2015.
2015, I believe it was 2015. Or it might have been 2014. Survivor Series. It was 2014, actually. So is Dean Ambrose? Ambrose was not part of that match. Okay, I thought he was.
So what matches we're going to be covering for the next, I don't know how long we're going to be doing this, is basically like trilogies that happen over the years, and not like one-offs or two-offs. Like, let's say a rivalry like, well, Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins was memorable too. I think they had a trilogy.
Dolph Ziggler and Seth, I mean, yes. So, Seth Rollins, why does it look like it's...
Can you move, please?
I was saying, Dolph and Seth, I mean, they have like here and there matches. I don't remember it being a trilogy. Oh, wait a second. Maybe I do, because I remember the Extreme Rules match where it was a fucking Iron Man match where people were like booing.
Ooh, the cell is looking. The cell looks like it's about to crack. The cell looks like it's about to fucking break.
The cell door is about to bust open. So anyway, I think it was Extreme Rules 2018 that I remember him and Dolph Ziggler fighting for the world title.
Intercontinental.
No, Intercontinental, I believe. Yeah, I think Intercontinental.
That's when Dean Ambrose came back.
It was a fucking Iron Man match for some reason. They were fucking chanting like, they were so bored that they were mimicking a Royal Rumble noise. According to WrestleMania, or according to fucking fans. So Seth, another trilogy would be, you could technically call this a trilogy. Goldberg and Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah, I think they've had like matches from the 2000s to 2016 when they had that squash match to 2017's WrestleMania. The Thrill Ride.
WrestleMania 20, where they both got booed out of the building, to Survivor Series 2016, where it was just going to be a one-off, and then the squash there, and then where he basically, I think, main evented WrestleMania, and Brock Lesnar got the title. Brock Lesnar, the damn championship.
That was when Goldberg jumped up out, or Brock Lesnar jumped out from the spear, and hit him with the F5.
He frogged him. He went like, ribbit, boy, hard ribbit.
we might be looking at a broken nose here.
He did that the same with Roman Reigns when he was in that Saudi Arabia match, I believe. Or SummerSlam.
But not to confuse you guys, sorry if we seem a little bit off track, we just want to talk about trilogies. And well, this match, of course, it might not be too memorable to some others, but it was some kind of memorable. Wait, Seth! Well, Seth! No! No!
What the fuck? Damn. Go. Welcome to Standing Up School. And you failed. There's also another trilogy that obviously they come to mind. It was the Rock and Austin.
Also Cena and Watch knows actually it happened twice between Cena and
only have the two.
They still need to finish up that trilogy.
Only that, yes. So I don't think it would be a trilogy. I highly doubt that. There's also another trilogy. It would be Michaels and Triple H. Also Undertaker versus Randy Orton. I think was a trilogy. Which
dang, you're breaking the script. Who cares? We'll just keep it going. But that was enough of Hell in a Cell. I said WrestleMania. We're gonna bring you right after the last match of the trilogy, which we'll put on this trilogy. You know, they have more than 3 matches. Is when they trade. Shut the fuck up. Okay, they faced off at SummerSlam that same year.
The train does not want to shut up.
I hold the microphone, you bum. See, this is how loud the damn train is over here. It thinks it has a saying. You think you have a saying now. You think you no. No. No.
Okay,
nah. But the last match we have of this stream is where Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose faced the SummerSlam afterwards.
Well, the SummerSlam match, I think that's what they were building. That was the SummerSlam match where where he spilled his damn Money in the Bank with slime, where he got squashed, where he got rolled up by Heath Slater.
Well, he was eating. I think he also ate popcorn. He was eating popcorn while it was happening.
He was like, boring match. Hey Seth, let me pour my drink in here.
You idiot! Hit my music, man! I'll hit my music. But this is one of those rivalries where you definitely want to rewatch it. I guess if we want to promote rivalries afterwards of the stream, would you tell the fans to rewatch this ever, on YouTube or Peacock?
I would think. There's also a couple other trilogies. You could technically call a recent one, where it's Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre.
That took over the entire Thunderdome.
Obviously Brock vs. Roman, which is really hated, which ended out good.
Started horrible. Well, actually started not even. No one got a damn pin. Yes, I'm talking about WrestleMania 31.
WrestleMania 31 to WrestleMania 38 to
SummerSlam that year.
WrestleMania 31. WrestleMania 34. Then fucking WrestleMania. Was it SummerSlam of that year? And then WrestleMania 30. Was it? No, WrestleMania 38. And that damn SummerSlam, which basically that was it, where Brock Lesnar were like, "Hey boy, boy."
As the referee sees that and he doesn't give a shit. Do your job, son.
No, the manager that overreacts.
But to finish up talking about this rivalry, well, some may remember it, some may not remember it, some may think of it as an afterthought, some may think it's memorable. If you had to put this in the rivalry list between S tier to F tier, what would you rate this rivalry?
I would definitely have at least an A tier, because talking about the heel to the pro wrestling community is definitely really high praise. That even if they're not gonna reunite anytime soon,
maybe in real life, maybe we're drinking, but
maybe if Endeavor wants to break down the forbidden door for once. Like you did only once, did Vince McMahon. Actually, wait. He actually brought in like Mexican superstars and Japanese wrestlers. But
he also brought Mickey James, who is currently the Impact champion.
That's not the forbidden door, damn it.
That's just lazy writing. Quit being lazy.
So, I think had our thoughts of, you know this is slightly out of topic, but it's important to note that yesterday, obviously Endeavor, the deal has been done, and WWE and UFC are under one roof. I feel like that would be really interesting to witness. Maybe they could intertwine. Ron Evans going under UFC and then just like get the UFC title and then they get the WWE title and the WWE World title. Just become a double champ. Or like I don't know, Mark Hunt, he just comes to WWE. Before Never comes out of retirement and beats the shit out of
and a buckle bomb.
For a second, I thought you said Barack Obama.
Barack Obama. But yeah, we're speaking of Endeavor, of course. But knowing that Edge is now off the Eternal roster, apparently, one of the rosters list, people are already thinking that he's AEW bound. And well, people want to see that. Some people don't want to see that. Like me, I don't want to see that.
He's still exploring his options.
Indeed. Well, see, Dean Ambrose, I guess you can't say he was being erased from WWE because, well, he has a lot of merch and figures.
He was basically he was basically squandered before he had his actual last match, where Bobby Lashley just threw him through the damn table, and then Bobby was like, "Hey Renee, check up on your husband."
At least they had a one final run with the Shield against McIntyre, Corbin, and Lashley, where that actually.
It was the Shield's last ride. The Shield's.
Which we'll probably end up doing later on down the road too, within a part of the series of rivalries with the Shield versus a certain team.
The Shield's final chapter, 5 games.
Yeah. We go through 3 of their rivalries, which was with Evolution, the Wyatts, and possibly the New Day. Remember back in Survivor Series when they faced off.
No, the old day.
It's the OD. It's OD.
This one's not over yet. We've seen plenty of people come back from being in a lot worse shape.
Kingston. Okay. What the hell?
When you compare, yeah, like other rivalries, I'll probably give this about A or a B. Of course, I don't want to praise it too much, but I would say I would praise it a little bit. Because of the childhood it gave me.
we could even talk about the recent Becky Lynch for Trish Stratus.
That's true, which led to almost nowhere for a second. And we don't talk about that botch you'll see down the stream.
How much damage did that do? A lot.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Oh, what a shot. That did. This has got to be it. Yeah, maybe. And he escapes with a kick out. Can you believe the endurance of this guy? Can you believe what he's been
He broke his knee like Cena. He broke his knee, he broke his nose.
God damn it, Seth.
You're unsafe. Hit my music. I'm saying hit my music.
Hit my music.
But of course, with Dean Ambrose's final run in the WWE, he lasted with the company for at least a decade, or at least a part of a decade.
Well, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are like 11 years going right now.
This is
Dean,
an electric crowd here tonight, and we're here to
7
every time these competitors. And there's the reversal.
Main roster, yes, it's been 7 years for him. But if you count FCW, he's been part of the WWE license for at least a decade.
Incredible. It's amazing what happens when a competitor channels.
Shut up, JBL.
You get high octane offense like that.
Hit my music, JBL, hit my music.
What a shot. That did some serious damage. You can't take too many of those and expect to be in the match much longer. He needs to dig way down deep if he wants to keep going now.
But, to summarize the final note, I guess, Seth, Ambrose, they faced off for a few years, had their wins and had their losses together, used to be tag team champions together. Around the time Seth Rollins won the World Championship after he won the briefcase and cashed in at WrestleMania. Dean Ambrose had some memorable moments and had some laughs along the way. We'll miss you, Dean Ambrose. Hope you come back one day.
Maybe in the Endeavor deal might actually have a permanent forbidden door in the coming.
But it's been fun, folks. I hope you guys liked this first episode of Rivalries. We'll see you guys another time this week for another episode. And yeah, enjoy. And leave a like and subscribe, please.